All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Nuggets of Wisdom. We're super excited to have you join us today. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really excited because it's Saturday, but also it's nice and sunny outside, and they just announced the results of the U.S. elections, and everyone is clapping and honking their horns, so it feels like a big wedding outside. It's actually kind of So for those of you that are new to our podcast, we have all the details on our Instagram page. You should see our Instagram handle just below. And you can go on our page and see all our previous episodes, but also the link to our YouTube page. So Zin, how's your week?
Yeah. My week has been good-ish. I feel like there have been ups and downs. For me personally, I feel like whenever I go into a high, there's always a low. And I feel like the past 2 weeks for now have been like a roller coaster, like an emotional roller coaster for me. Mm-hmm. And my cats are fighting and like a manifestation of that. So yeah, but all in all, I'm like trying to get through. I'm trying to get to hear that voice inside, to figure out, because I find myself so easily distracted. So I know that I don't want to hear anything that outside right now. So yeah.
I feel you. This week has been super fascinating.
True.
Just yesterday, I was thinking, I did feel kind of down, and I was like, it's exactly like the ebb and flow of the ocean. Sometimes you feel up, and when you're feeling up, the world is looking all rosy and happy, and you have all this energy to do whatever you want, and then you feel down. And sometimes you can feel in a day.
Yeah.
So I feel you. It's been a very, very interesting week energetically.
I know, and I'm just loving the differences between our energy and your voice's outside energy.
No, people are really excited.
You're back. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and coincidentally, while you told me about the news, rain started to fall down in me. I just heard it, and I don't know. I was like, it's a good thing, I guess.
Rain is always a good sign.
I know. Yeah. I love rain. Yeah.
So Zena, what do you want to talk about today? I feel like you have some deep questions that you want to present to our audience.
I know. We wanted to prepare something, but we felt like we wanted to research more about it before we delve deep into it. But I felt like maybe this is a chance to both of us to get to know each other. But I mean, we already know each other, but like on a deeper level, and for you guys to get to know us maybe a little bit more. So the question that I really want to ask Lulu today is something that I've been like, I just want to ask it, Lulu, just take it as it is. What made you want to start your emotional, even your getting to know yourself, or like your journey so far? Like, what made you want to say, you know what, this is it. Like, I want to find myself.
This is gonna take.
You didn't delve that much deep into it last time. I know.
I'm kind of.
But I want to hear it.
I don't go into details. I'm that kind of person that collects information about people, but I don't go that deep.
No, come on.
This is a very deep question that could take episodes and episodes to get to know the real Alaa. I'm joking.
True. Yeah.
To be honest, since I started this healing journey, I haven't really reflected on. I know why I started, which I will go into in a little bit, but I haven't really reflected on how far I've come, kind of the ups and downs, and where I am right now. So in January, I moved to New York City. I was super excited about a new job. I feel like it was a dream come true. I had it.
Yeah.
I checked all the boxes. So I was super excited about moving to a new city, meeting new people. I love the energy of New York. It's a city of a bazillion people. So you meet people from all over. It was super exciting to go to work. It was challenging. It was exactly what I wanted. And then we started to hear news about COVID.
Mm.
And I was like, no, this is a little, it's too far away from us. You know, I'm still gonna go to work, and everything is perfect. And I'm the kind of person that's an extrovert, so I get my energy from people. So I was actually, because I'm new to this city, I loved going.
Okay.
Because I love being around people. It gives me so much positive energy.
I didn't know that about you. I thought you were an introvert, to be honest. But I love that. Okay. See, another layer that I didn't know.
So then we started hearing, actually we started hearing more news about cases coming to New York City, COVID cases. And then they announced that there's going to be a lockdown. So the entire state was going to be shut down, and that we have to work from home.
Yeah.
So then when I was forced to stay inside my apartment for prolonged periods of time, at first I was riding high, and I was like super excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm working from home. I get to wake up and just start working right away. So I was super hyper at first. It still hadn't hit me when we entered lockdown. But then as each day passed, I noticed that the anxiety and depression that I faced when I moved to New York City, because I'm adjusting to a new place, it started to get worse. And each day I would just, at night, I would have, breakdown after another, panic attack after another, and I didn't know what to do. And I mean, I love my parents dearly, but they're the kind of people that when you call, they're like, everything's going to be okay. Or why don't you come and visit us? And I can't come visit them because of
you're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah.
They live in Canada, and I just can't. So I was basically stuck with Alaa.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. I absolutely didn't know what to do. I was still excited about my job, but I noticed that my energy started to dip. And I was just, going into a really dark place. But at the same time, I knew that I didn't move here to be sad. I knew that I didn't move here to be depressed, that I didn't, shift my life and shake it all up to move to a new place to be sad all the time. I knew something had to change. So one time when I reached a really low, bad breaking point, I just prayed for a sign. I prayed for guidance and help, to help me get through this period, because it was essentially a situation where there was no end in sight. I didn't know when we were going back to work.
Yeah.
Just by myself. I only know one person in the city, so I still haven't met people.
Yeah.
But I was going crazy because I thought, I'm that kind of person. I thought I could deal with myself, and I love to meditate and stuff like that. But I never, ever thought that I would go on this journey. If COVID hadn't happened, I don't think I would have kept postponing it, the whole reflection and going within and getting to know myself. I would have kept postponing it and just focused more on my external world.
Yeah.
So yeah, one time I just prayed for a sign. I was like, God, I know you want me to be happy. I know that you put me here for a big reason. Help me tap into that and give me the guidance and help that I need. If it's from somebody telling me something, if it's a quote that I come across, anything, I'm desperate. I need help.
Yeah.
And so the very next day, a friend of mine called me, and she offered to, do life coaching sessions. And up until that point, I was, I thought it was just going to be a few sessions and that's it. I'm going to go back to my old.
You didn't contact her beforehand? She just didn't contact her?
No, she actually called me. It was kind of.
Wow. All right.
So I started doing that.
Yeah.
And then Zaina, you began recommending certain courses to me. So I started doing that, kind of barely dipping my toes. And now fast forward, 8 months? I feel like my life is shifting in a whole new direction.
I love that. Yeah.
I reached a breaking point, and I never thought I would get up. I was in a really bad place. And up until now, actually, my family, my parents don't know that I hit that low point. Because, when I call them, I still want them to feel happy and and proud of me. I don't want them to worry because I live by myself and all of that.
Yeah.
I kind of kept this to my close circle, but I swear to you, Zena, because I opened myself and I made the decision to change and get better for me. I honestly don't know why I decided to do it. Like, I don't know why. I just, something told me you have to change. You have to get to know Lulu. You have to get to know yourself. I don't know what the end goal is, but ever since then, I feel like a part of me opened. A part of me is thankful that I'm doing this and appreciative that I finally, Zena, after putting everyone first, after just focusing too much on my career, to me, it was attached to my identity. Finally, I'm doing something for me, and I can tell my soul is happy. I can tell my soul is thanking me. You know, I still go through low points, but like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's like the ebb and flow. It's know that when I have a low day, I know I will bounce back up. Because kind of like I've been in that dark area, but I also know what it's like to be on that.
Be in that dark area.
Yeah. So it's a fascinating journey. I'm getting to know myself on a deep soul level. I never thought that I would get to know myself on such an intimate level. Now I'm forced to actually sit with myself and reflect. Building this beautiful inner world that I've ignored for so many years.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is that because I'm actually building something precious for me, that I'm actually super, super, super aware of what I let into that world. So I mean, my work has to do with conflict and politics and a lot of like, you know, not so positive stuff, but I kind of trained myself to disconnect.
Yeah.
But with what I consume on TV, with the music that I listen to, with the people that I talk to, I'm super aware of who I let into my inner world. Because
you got to know yourself more or less, and you want to see what resonates with it.
Yes. So now it's just, I'm at an amazing point in my life. I'm super proud of myself. I know I still have a long way to go though. And just yesterday I was like,
and it's fine that you don't you have a long way to go. This is not it. Like, this is not how you should measure where you are in this journey. This is an ongoing thing. It will not stop at a certain point. I feel like it will only stop at death. And up until your last moment, you should plant those seeds and plant those elements that help you to get to know yourself. And I love that.
I love how you're describing it as seeds. You're absolutely right. Because at first when I started this, I was in a rush to, you know, okay, when is this going on? Okay, I got myself excited, but now we're in November.
I know. But even though it's so zero, like for example, if you're gonna put it on, if you got the chance to see your life in a, like from the beginning towards the end, you feel like what you have done in those 8 months, you'll be like a 0.01% of change, and the change that you will go onward will be much bigger. But you really do feel this change, and you do really feel this shift in your life. And I feel it too in your positivity first.
I love it. Thank you. This actually makes me feel You know, the funny thing is that just, I think in February of 2019, I was telling people, like a close friend of mine, that I have a feeling next year there's a big shift that's going to happen in my life. And it's so deep, it's as if like a big, I don't know, jet airplane is turning, or a big ship is turning. And he was like, oh, maybe you're gonna get married, or you're gonna find another job or something. I was like, no. I was like, I swear it's something so big that my brain can't process or put into words. And fast forward, more than a year and a half, look where I am. 2020 has been, I would say, the best years of my life. It's the year when I decided to go on a journey of self-discovery. It's the year, you know, I'm in one of the busiest cities of the world, but it's actually surprisingly where I found my peace, and I'm finding myself. And I just want to keep going. I'm at a point where I want to keep going because it's so worth it.
I know.
So worth it. Like, even if you go through moments of doubt, it's just that voice inside of you tells you to keep going, and doors will keep opening for you. Like,
yeah, I love this door metaphor. Like, if you open just one little thing, a sequence chain of events will lead its way because of that little door you have opened.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm on this podcast episode. I want to thank you, dear. And had you not told me about that meditation class, honestly, I don't know where I would be now. So you are one of these people that just came into my, I mean, you were in my life, but I mean, came back, a grand entrance into my life at a time when I really needed that. And so it's to those who think that they're suffering alone, you're not. You're surrounded by love, and you're surrounded by people who love you and care about you. But you just have to take that first step and open yourself, open your heart. Magic will happen. You'll be amazed. At first, you may not see it, like Zena said, the seeds, but just you'll reach a point when it cracks wide open, and you'll ascend to a whole new level of your life. Wow, that was really
I agree. I know. I really felt like your entire journey. I like that. I felt it. I wanted to say something about what you said about the opening up. Growing up, I don't know why, but I really did have a problem opening up. I didn't feel like, I don't know why, like even to my mom, even to my dad, even to those around me, I don't like, the whole of opening up, like, it's not because I felt weak or I felt like vulnerable. This is like, why would I open up? Like, I don't feel anything is wrong, so why would I open up? There's nothing to be, there's nothing in to be opened up about. But the moment where I truly found myself is the moment where I started to talk more about what's going on inside. Because it's like as if these are just jumbled up words that you have been, like, imagine like a box, and this box you're putting lots and lots and lots of stuff inside of it. And in order to get to the core, you'll never be able to reach the core because it's shut and it's jumbled up and there's a lot of junk and stuff inside. At the moment you clear it out with you, even with just expressing, that's why expressing yourself is very important. Even just a simple expression of verbally expressing yourself, or written, like something written or something, anything that way you want to express yourself is limitless. But in order to get that box open in its own way and get to the core.
I love
yeah
that.
and
You're so right. So you think that it's when you make that decision to change and get better, when you open that first door, it becomes easier for you to talk about what's happening on the inside.
Exactly. And I do get, like, if I was telling myself or you, or like telling you Lulu when she was having those bad dark days, I would tell her, well, you need to open up. I was like, I know she will not take my advice seriously, and it will be very hard for, like, sometimes, because it's something that you can't express. Sometimes it's too hard or too painful, and you need to appreciate that pain, and you need to make sure that don't hate yourself because of that pain that you're feeling, and just accept what's going on inside, and just find a way to express yourself, even if you can't find a person to express yourself to. Just find a way to express yourself by meditating, by looking outside, by observing, by getting a cat.
No, you're
find a way to.
I feel like you learn a different flavor of patience and self-compassion when you start that journey. But just,
I know.
Speaking of like expressing yourself, I wasn't, and I'm still learning how to do that, because I was always like, the happy one in the family and super optimistic, always super energetic. And when people would, ask me to self-reflect, I'm always like, oh, I love to make people happy. Oh, I just want to make people happy. So it's always like on the outside, what people want. But when I started doing these coaching sessions, she kept circling back, what do you want? What makes you happy? So little by little, I started tuning that compass inward. tuning that lens inward. And then that's when I really started to have these honest conversations of what I like, what I don't like, boundaries
Yeah.
now, how to set boundaries, how to express myself in a way that is out of strength and not victimhood, and not to place blame, and not, so it's the more you shed, the deeper and the heavier the journey gets. But it's in the core that I feel like you have to put in a lot of work, and it takes a lot of patience, but it's super amazing and rewarding.
Yeah, it really is. Because there's a poem that I love. It's called The Man in the Mirror or The Man in the Glass. I'm not sure. I think it's The Man in the Mirror.
Mm.
And it's basically like the entire poem is telling you, like, you might have lots of successes and lots of rewards and lots of things, but at the end, if the man in the mirror is not your friend, then all of this will go to waste. And the moment I heard this poem, I just like bawled my eyes, because a lot of, like, right now I do feel in a high. And right now, like, if you, like, because I'm like, right now I'm looking at, like, externally, like, I have a good job, financially I'm in a good place, and academically I finished my thesis, and I feel like externally I'm living my golden age. But when it's coming in inside, I feel like right now I feel like in this new level of sphere, that maybe another layer, deeper layer that I have to get into, like with the box, I have to get another layer out, and it could be something that's painful, something that made me who I am for a while, but I need to accept it. And for me, the biggest thing, I feel like I always go back into this mentality, because I've lost connection with who I am. I really have lost, like, I know who Zaina is, but sometimes I would lose connection. And right now I know why I'm losing connection. It's just like, because like you said, I'm putting my self-worth with the work that I'm doing.
I love that.
And it's something, I feel like it's not fair. Your job is something that you have, like, doesn't entail who you are as a person, doesn't entail how good of a person you are. And maybe mentally I'm saying it, but maybe inside I'm not really feeling it. So yeah, I'm trying to break free, like, from that. And yeah, maybe I'm fine. I'm like, I take a bit of my slow time to express myself, but I'm getting there.
I love
Yeah.
that kind of, I feel like on this journey you really have to learn to become your best friend and number one cheerleader, and to really hold space for yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling.
That's true.
I listened to something beautiful yesterday, and he said that when you reflect and when you meditate, just have an inner smile on the inside, and wherever you feel tension, look at it as if it's like a really patient grandma looking at her grandchild with utmost patience and love. Because sometimes when we reflect, and I do feel that I'm kind of like choking my brain, like, oh, when are you going to let go? When are you going to let go?
Yeah.
So I am at a point where I'm still learning to be nice and kind and gentle to myself, where I know that I'm at a point where I just need to take a deep breath. Sometimes you have to take 1 minute at a time, because we are living at a time where it can get a little overwhelming at times.
I agree with you. I just want to circle back to the point that you said, like, when you said, like, I'm working on myself, or like my mind is like telling me to let go. And for me, the biggest lesson I've learned is the mentality where, because I've always wanted, like, you're always going to work on yourself no matter what, because it's an investment project, and you always wanted to check up on this investment. However, just like any investment, I feel like it's not about the point. Like, for me, I tend to focus right now, like, what's going on in my head. Like, you didn't finish what you needed to do. You still are very late with your curriculum. You still are not done with half the things that you're done with. And yeah, it is important to be self-critical, but at the same time, I feel like don't take the things that you observe yourself to be wrong. So don't so the things that you tend to feel like are flaws or are wrong, these are things that are currently helping your mentality right now, helping you to cope in a way, like a defense mechanism, more or less. So just like a cat, when you bite it, it scratches, for example. And that, even though, for example, the cat might reflect back, I was like, what did I do to Zaina? And why did I scratch her, more or less? But for that cat, it's a defense mechanism. He is not going to go hating on himself because he's scratchy, because he's hurt. That's why he scratched you.
So you mean
So what I'm trying to say is that,
sorry to interrupt us, to collect these thoughts and look at them as, okay, why am I in overthinking mode? It's a defense mechanism, and then start that reflection process.
yeah, and don't go hating on don't go hating on your system, because if you're gonna observe it, like, I have this flaw and I have to take care of it, it's different. Like, it's different than saying to yourself, now what can I change in order to become the best version of myself? You know what I'm trying to say? There's a difference between going hating on yourself and be like, I don't like how I acted in this situation, or there's a difference between saying, well, how can I make this situation better so I don't have to repeat that same mistake again. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, shift your mentality, because you're always going to find something wrong with yourself, because you're always reflecting and you're always observing from the side, and the only thing that we know is reflecting back to us, just like a mirror in our own way. So if that mirror, we saw something that doesn't fit the mirror, we're gonna hate on ourselves, or we're gonna see like we're missing something. But it's fine if you're not there yet, or if you're gonna take a step back, like a few moments up, and it's fine that you're missing that something. It's not there's nothing wrong with you. I hope I'm making myself clear, but yeah, this is
what you're saying. It's kind of like you're looking at everything as that comes up when you do this work as a learning experience.
Yeah.
But also looking at it with curiosity.
Thank you. Like a detective. I love, like a detective. Yeah.
So just put that judgment to the side. Because once you start that
Thank you.
Cycle,
yeah.
Your mind will find all the adjectives to judge you, I feel like.
Exactly. You can't be in a friendship where you're constantly judging your friend, or you feel like your friend is constantly judging you. You'll be like, my God, I'm hanging out with her again. You know, and you always have to be sure that you're putting that extra work. And for what? For a friendship that you feel like it's not going anywhere. So instead of just having this mentality of judging your best friend, which is yourself, just make sure to guide it, or not guide it, because your best, like yourself is the one that should be guiding you, but just to view it in a better light.
I love that you're saying that, Zaina, because what you're saying, it gives me hope. Because, you've been on this journey longer than I have, like way longer. So it gives me hope and encouragement that I will reach that point where that self-conversation is going to get better. Where, I'm going to be the best support system I can ever be. And that no matter what difficulty or overwhelming situation I will come across, I will have the tools inside of me to kind of be able to navigate it in a healthy way without relapsing back to unhealthy patterns of the past.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that, Zaina.
Reflecting is a very important tool that everyone should practice, not just like with self-discovery, with everything. Reflection there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but just reflection not is like reminiscing about the past. I don't mean like reflection with that, just reflection of how can I make this investment better and a better opportunity for me? Like seeing where the errors that you view are and try to make them shine in the best way possible. This is for me reflection.
I like that. And sometimes it's okay to ask those that are close to you it's actually a good starting point to talk to those that are close to you to help you begin that self-inquiry process. Because sometimes there's something about you that you don't necessarily see. It could be good or bad, but having that really honest, vulnerable conversation, it's very empowering.
I know. Yeah.
help guide you in the right direction. Because, you know, self-reflection at first can be super overwhelming and you don't know what to do. And then the overthinking kicks in.
I know.
So
That's why you need the guy to help you out a little bit.
yeah,
Like a mirror, acting as your mirror.
And at first, before you take the training wheels off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I like that.
I love that, Zana. This is absolutely beautiful. I think the whole goal of the podcast was to continue this self-reflection.
Yeah.
Because sorry, go ahead. I lost my thought.
No. I just wanted to say, how many minutes have we spent so far? I feel like, did we go over more than 30 minutes or 20?
Talk for hours and hours.
And you're like going deep. It's like self-reflection, and I'm like the time,
you know,
yeah.
Reflection. It's like, even like I said, Zana, the podcast. It takes vulnerability to put ourselves out there and to talk.
I know.
Honestly, especially like you said, our families are kind of, you know,
they're open. Like they're conservative but open-minded to a limit. They're open-minded, but their actions are conservative, I guess. Mentally, they're open-minded, but action-wise, they're very conservative. This is how I would best describe it, right? Yeah, I misjudge them in any way. I love them to death, and they're becoming more accepting now of who we are, I guess.
They're holding space for us to be the beings that we are born to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My mom is asking me, she's like, "Are you guys done?" I was like, "No."
Maybe
no, we're not.
To wrap up the conversation.
Yes. So thank you
for you.
What?
I have one question.
My mom was... Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm ready. Shoot.
Before we wrap up.
Okay.
I'm still going on strong with this whole healing work that I'm doing. What single piece of advice would you give me? And would you give people who are in a similar boat at this time when it kind of gets overwhelming, you know, especially when you start the healing work, you ride that wave and you're feeling high and excited and, you know, positive and optimistic that everything is going to work out. But then you reach kind of like I don't want to say a plateau, but a calm period.
Stagnation, more or less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're pushing through. Briefly before we wrap up.
How we put, like, okay, the best, first of all, you need to have patience. Patience is very, very important. Patience with, because if you're really investing in yourself, if you're really taking your time and eating the food, like investing in yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you will not be asking yourself this question, not because you will not feel that stagnation. You'll feel the slow pace, but you will know that there's an end towards. So it's just like a sprint, like it's not like you're sprinting towards something, and at times your sprint might be a bit slower, but you're reaching somewhere. So my thing is just enjoy your process, even with its little trivial, it's like very little flaws that you might view, or like the slow pacing that you might view it. But just, this is a process, and the process needs patience, and the process needs you to figure out that you're doing the best that you can, if you're truly intending for you to be the best version of who you're meant to be, with God's will, obviously. But yeah, just know that, and just know that some things are not going to work out, whatever. Maybe family, there are a lot of factors that might not align with what you're trying to do, but just know that it's a process, and if your true intention will shine through no matter what, in my opinion.
I get so there. This for our episode then. You know, you left me nuggets of wisdom in that I will, you know, reflect on today.
Well, I hope everyone reflects on Lulu's journey so far because she never opened up in that way, and I just love it. And I really felt it because I feel like I needed to hear that at this moment. But if you enjoyed this episode as much as we did, and you enjoyed our conversation, please join us, and you can leave a comment. You can follow us on Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel for those who don't know, which is currently now open for only our friends and family. But if you want to join in, please go ahead. You're gonna find it in the bio. I like that tab. Please do and subscribe. You can leave us a comment there as well, and you can share this episode in whichever way. I mean, we don't want to force you to do it, but if you want to do it, please go ahead, and we really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. Seriously.
Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful week.